Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the round 17 fan cams. Very, very disappointing effort by the boys today, particularly in that first half. But that's what this is for. I mean, this is now going to be a therapy session. A lot of emotions. We're all extremely upset, filthy, angry. I'm gutted. Honestly, I'm gutted. That first half, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's like we came out thinking it was all going to happen. It's literally just the same story. And if anything, it's probably how we came out last week. We obviously made the comeback and we're happy about that. And we're hoping that we learnt our lesson. But fuck me. What the fuck was that? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Time and time again, we're left asking, when is it going to change? Why are we looking to next year? What about right now? What about the moment now? And to go down like that, we go down by, 14 points in the end. I'll reserve my comments for, throughout the show. But I want to get you guys on. I want to get you guys the opportunity. I want to give you guys the opportunity to have your say, talk about it, and vent. We'll start with Andy. Hello, mate.
Tez, how are you, mate? Love your work.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, look, I'm 30 years old. I've been a member since I was about 7. I've seen nothing from mediocrity from this club. I mean, when's it time to, give it your all? I mean, some players, McGovern grew legs in that last quarter. What was going on? He finally got the ball in his hands. SBS is just soft. I don't know why he keeps getting the game. Look, in the end of the day, I'm happy we didn't win. I'm happy Bryce Gibbs won in his last game. But surely as us being paid up members this year especially, they can't keep producing shit like that. Come on, guys. What the hell are you doing?
It was, for me, mate, there was too much talk about Gibbs and how much we love him. And, for me, let that happen after the game. It was all hugs and smiles and before the game. And then when it came to game time to get switched on and have that winning, ruthless aggression, it wasn't there. What are we just got to cop it.
I mean, Doherty went off early. Fair enough. Where are these other leaders? Where's Simpson? Where's Murphy? Are they standing up? Murphy had a few good kicks, and that was it. He does the early coaching, just tries for the easy handball and quick hand pass. It's all he does now, Murph. I'm sick of it. I really am.
Yeah. To be fair, when you said where are other leaders, you know where they were, man. It was Sam Walsh. It was young kids. They're the ones that are really leading the way and digging deep. And I agree. I thought McGovern showed some things in the fourth. I thought Cunningham showed some things in the fourth. But where was that at the beginning? Where was that from the first bounce? Why are we left waiting?
Sorry to cut you off. You hear Cameron Mooney saying, Mackay's playing against a second gamer. Fair enough, Mackay got 4 goals. He should have had 7 or 8. The way the ball was coming in was just pointless. I'm sick of them bombing it outside 50. Look for a fucking lead, boys.
Yeah. It's got to change, mate. And I can give the forwards a little bit of not an out, but the way that ball comes in at times, we're like children, just panicking, aren't we?
Oh, mate. Whatever. But anyway, bring on 2021 because I'll pay my membership next year because I love this club. But they've got to show something. Round 1, I want to beat fucking Richmond. Round 1, boys. Yeah.
When does the buck stop? When do we demand wins? When does that happen? When is it about winning?
I'm sick of hearing about these efforts. Carlton played a good game. You know what? And Kane Corton's has every right to smash us this week. And I hope he does because we deserve it. I'm sick of all this mediocrity. Come on, beggars.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tez.
For sure, mate. Have a good one, mate. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Terry. Hey, mate.
Hey, mate. What's going on, Benny?
Not much. That's just, I'm filthy. That was just fucking, sorry for swearing, mate. But that was
You're allowed to swear, mate. You're allowed to swear.
That was just awful, mate. That was just an absolute, piss take. That was awful. I don't know.
You know, at times it probably felt like we could even win the game. And I'm a supporter. We're all supporters. We love our club. We always want to win. But I found myself at times saying, this will just paper over the cracks again. We don't deserve to win this game from how far back we've let ourselves go. I mean, what do we do as we're going to cop it as supporters, but mate, it's just very disappointing.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. I mean, honestly, I'd say just next week play the kids, play Owies, Paulson, Dow. Season's over really. I mean, there's no chance now, but
fair enough.
Just disappointing, mate.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Not much more I can ask you all. If you have anything else to say about it, any other comments?
Mitch McGovern he's a bit of a spud. He's just useless. He kicked the goal in the last quarter, but up to that, he had like 2 touches. I don't know.
Yeah, he lifted in the fourth, but unfortunately, we needed that type of Mitch McGovern to come there in the first half, didn't we? Yeah. Awesome. Next up, thanks, Ben. Benji.
Mate.
Hey, mate. Just before you start, guys, for you guys in the comments, the link is in the description. Hit the link. You'll go to the waiting room, and then I'll try and get through as many as humanly possible. Benji, mate, talk to me. What happened?
Look, I'm at peace with this game. I'm very upset about the whole thing and the game, but it's just unsustainable footy. I mean, it's just typical. It's what I can expect from this club at the moment. I'm not even upset. It's just what I'm come to expect every weekend.
How old are you?
I'm 13, so I glitched out the other week, but mate,
I'm 29 and I feel the same. I've seen the same as you.
Yeah.
You're right. There's a level of it happens, and then it's just like, okay, well, whatever. I can deal with this because I've seen this all my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I just come to expect every week and weekend. It's just annoying. But look, talking on some players, I mean, McGovern, he's not footy fit, if we're talking honestly. Plowman, I know he played a solid game. I'm not sure about him. Just some other, and just, you can't go down. I think it was 42 points. Am I correct?
Yeah, 43 or 44, something like that.
And 37 last week or 39, and you just can't do that. You really can't as a football club, and then expect to get your way, claw back. And, the whole Gibbs situation where, it was like he's playing for us.
I know. The way that we spoke about him throughout the week.
Oh.
I'm okay. Look, I love Gibber. He's been a servant of the club.
Cruiser. I mean, I love Cruiser. He's been a legend of the club. But, their time has come. Their time is done. And now we got to get to the game because it was a big game. I mean, nobody's talking about the actual game. It was an important game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we win and we put ourselves back in the hunt.
We were. If we won by a fair bunch, we could have actually been in the 8 by the end of this round.
Yeah, that's true. What do we do next week, mate?
You know what? I can actually see us winning next week. I know, put in the young guns and just, go at it and play 4 quarters of footy. That's all I can ask for. If we lose and we play 4 quarters of footy, I'm not upset.
Yeah, fair enough, mate.
Thanks.
Great chatting with you, Benji. Have a good one, mate.
You too. See ya.
See you, mate. 13 years old and he speaks a lot of sense. Mr. Beach.
Okay. Did we leave the hotel this morning and just go straight to Brisbane in that first half? Because what the fuck was that? I mean, okay, support Gibbs on his last game, yeah. But boys, Sarum went. You've got to do the job. Have the beer with him afterwards.
Too many smiles and hugs, mate.
I mean, sure. Very happy that we're sending him. Very happy to see Gibbs end his career against us, so to speak. But, what else can I say? What else can I say?
Yeah, we're flogging a dead horse, aren't we? It's all about next year. It's all about when Charlie's back. It's all about last year. It was all about when Doc comes back. When is it going to be about now?
If I had the answer, I would say it like this. It's 2021 soon, boys. We've had a big of a year in Victoria, and we've been dished up that. When it starts next year, if you've seen my Carlton People episode, I said next year we're going to look for wins consistently. This is what we've got to look for. If we don't get that, where are we going to be as a club?
Matt, you're showing more effort and care than what our own boys did in that first half. That's the fans. It's sad because it's like we're a minority. We're a minority that show more heart and whatnot. And then if you criticize too much, you're not a real supporter. If you question the club, you're not a real supporter. When is it okay to ask questions? When is it okay to hold the club accountable? When does that happen?
Some might say next year, Terry. Some might say next year.
Yeah. It's been next year for a while, hasn't it?
And, we now sit 12th, right? We're not sitting in the bottom four. They're not going to give us an easy way out. They're not going to give us an easy way out now because we sit 12th. If we were sitting where North Melbourne and Adelaide are, maybe. Not if we're sitting 12th. Not if we're sitting on 12th and above Essendon on points and percentage.
Yeah. Jim Teleski wrote a really good comment here saying, we treated it like it was a staff party and someone was leaving. That's exactly what it was like in the first. How many of those Adelaide players just got the ball? We had 57 disposals in the first quarter. 57 disposals to 108.
And it was Scholl. It was Himmelberg. It was O'Brien. Riley O'Brien, that is. It was the Crouch boys. What were we doing? We just said, here, you're off the leash, boys. Go nuts. This is a leash-free dog park. We don't care what you do.
Yeah.
And
Tough one, mate.
It hurts me to say stuff like this because I've seen it happen for the last I've seen it for the last 20 plus years. I'm 28. I'm waiting for everything to come full circle, and it's going the other way.
Yeah. It's tough, mate. I feel your pain. I feel this emptiness, just flat non-emotion. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, mate. Appreciate it.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Love you, buddy.
Cheers, mate. You too.
See ya.
That's it. That's all you can do, huh? Shake your head. Man, how much can I yell? How much, like we sit here. Look, first of all, thanks, Terry, because this is a bit of therapy for everybody. I'm telling you. Or else because of this isolation, man, we're just walking around like crazy just by ourselves, So first of all, thanks to you, mate. But it's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. That's what this is. This is embarrassing, man. Like there's no urgency, is there? Is it? There's no urgency, is there? See the way they're just jogging around? It's like they're getting their paychecks. They don't give a fuck, I'm telling you. Man, we've probably got 6 or 7 players that we can say we need to keep. The rest, I'm telling you, are just useless, man. I'll give you another thing that I didn't like. McGovern, forget about this, wasting our time here. McGovern, O'Brien, he comes in, he gets his chance. What does he do? Seriously, man, run. What have you been doing for fucking 18 weeks? You've been doing nothing. You get your chance, run. That's all I'm asking you to do, mate. Cripps. He did that great goal, innit? That's a bloody good goal, innit? And then what pissed me off, and he did this last week, he winked. Now, I know that's a little thing, but he gave that wink of, hey, mate, What, mate? What's this wink, mate? You shouldn't be winking, mate. You shouldn't be winking, and this is the attitude that's going through the fucking club. And another thing fucking during the week, man, I already see, I'm telling you, the fans, what's wrong with you people, mate? I see posts, if we win by 97 points and this team loses, and if we do this, and I do a backflip, and my fucking grandmother had balls, we're going to make the finals. Are you serious? Are you serious? We shouldn't have even been thinking of that. We should have been thinking first bounce, mate. First bounce. And it's, oh, man, I don't even know what to say anymore, man. This is like, am I waiting?
No, you know, there was a moment, again, I think of you a lot lately, mate. I think it was in the third or might have been the fourth. It was definitely the second half. There was a ball that went forward from deep in our defensive 50. Walsh and Samo, you go, no, I go, no, you go, nobody goes, fucking turnover.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what's happening again. If you think about the last 4 weeks, we've played half a footy. Like last week, we played that half to win. But, you know, Collingwood, GWS, the Swans and Adelaide, all teams that everyone was saying we should beat, we have been disgraceful. We're just going out there just to get our paycheck. I'm telling you, man, I don't even know what to say anymore, man. You know what? I love my jumper. But you know the people that are wearing it don't deserve to wear it. Not everyone, but most of them don't fucking deserve to wear that jumper, man. Because it's not about you wearing the jumper. It's what you do when you've got that jumper. And what are you doing, man? Ask yourself, are they asking themselves what they're doing? I don't know, man. This is like, you know, I sat on the couch today. I didn't even yell. It was like, I don't know. I felt like that this is it. This is it. This is where we're at. We've got to be serious with ourselves. We are a middle of the road team, right? This is serious. We are a middle of the road team. If anyone thinks differently, that I'm telling you, we're never going to win anyway. We are just middle of the road. If we're lucky, the difference between our best and our worst is just too big, mate. It's just too big. Man, we can go on. And as I said, man, like McGovern's got to go. Maybe we've got Doc, Plowman, TDK, Wiedering, McKay, Cribbs, Walsh. That's it. They're probably our A graders. The rest, really, I don't know, man. I don't know. Even like Betts, you know, like I love the bloke, but unfortunately, I think he's given his best. You know, it's time to go. We're going to move him on. You know, definitely. You got to think about Lucky Cruiser went. I'm feeling I love the bloke, but Lucky, you know what I mean? Because we need to move forward. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, man, like Cruz's retired, yeah? Like there's a bloke who played the way that we want everyone to play. You know,
exactly.
And where the fuck was the tribute to him this week? The guy who had to end his career. You know, to be honest, the hand that he was dealt was unfair. The guy's a warrior. I don't think anyone in the AFL that goes for another team has a bad word to say about him. And then you look at the effort, like of these blokes, like they're taking their careers for granted, it feels like.
They are. And I've been saying this, man. There's no certainty for tomorrow. There's no certainty for next. Look at Doherty. There's no certainty on the next quarter. Now we got no certainty that he's even going to play next week, you know. And then what happens during the preseason? Something else happens and then your career's over, man. They don't get it. The moment is now. We've been saying it. The moment is now, mate. It's right now. We had a chance. It was now, man. It starts, and it didn't even start today. It should have started during training. You know, when you went out there to training, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you something, right? I want you to do something for me, right? And this is what I reckon they're thinking. I want you to stretch out your arm for a sec as far as you can. Just do that for a sec for me, all right? Can you just stretch it out a bit more? Just a bit more. But wait a sec. I told you to stretch it as far as you can the first time, but you didn't. That is their fucking attitude. That is their attitude. Tell me, give me everything you fucking got when you get out there, and they don't. And then there's always the excuses of they're young and they're but that's all I'm hearing. I'm like the Simpsons. Remember once Homer, he was in one of the shows and he's listening to the teacher and all he heard was blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm hearing. Blah, 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 blah. Get the fucking ball. That's it. You know what I mean? Like it's all fun. Coaching's got to be looked at. Keep teeth because you've got to give him that chance. But, you know, coaching, look, who are we getting in there for coaches? Like assistants, like Barker and all that. All right, but man, I want winners there, mates. I want winners, you know, like I remember when Richard Pratt got made president years ago, you know, like before everyone's time here. It made it, and they said to him they needed to get the CEO or something, and they said to him, all right, we'll go and get the best available. And he said, no, you get the best CEO, not the best available. What are we doing? Are we getting the best coaches? They don't give a fuck if you got a contract, man. Where's the Carlton of old, mate? Get the fucking the brown paper back. I don't give a fuck about if. Just get out there and get the best players who want to win this fucking game, mate. Just win. That's all I want to say, wins. What Kennedy said, mate, show me wins, show me possessions, and I'll shut the fuck up. At the moment, you're showing me nothing, mate. Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Now,
you're welcome.
I pick the dog. It's all good now. Let it all out.
Well, I'm glad that you have somewhere to share your thoughts, mate. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is a therapy session for everyone, man. Come on, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, bro. Have a good one. Love ya. Love him. Thank you to Braxton for the $5 donation. He says, this team has done it for me. Did we fluke all of our wins this year? Because we have not improved at all. Thanks, mates. Jacob.
G'day.
Hey, mate.
It's hard to watch, isn't it?
These words, these sentences that you're saying, we've been saying them our whole lives. When we get to that crunch moment, you know, whether it's in a game or a season, luckily, or you know, fortunately for us, we've had a pretty good year in terms of we've been sort of in it. We fluffed our chances again.
We've been in it for the last 3 years. We say that every year. Oh, we'll be good in 3 years. We'll be good in 3 years. Like it's just really hard. It's tough. Yeah. What can you do? I guess.
Who are our best players? Let's start there.
Well, that's hard to say. And I think Wiedering holds our back line so well. Like without him, we'd be cooked, honestly.
Yeah.
And obviously Mackay's good down forward. He scares the shit out, you know, when he goes for his bananas. Just go back and take a set shot, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Look, end of the day, we want the goals, we want the results. If he's missing them, then fair enough.
Exactly.
But,
look, I've got a bit of an unpopular opinion here.
Yep.
Samo Petrevski-Keaton, I'm not sold on him. I reckon he's the one that we need to shine the door. So I think he's worth a bit of value to other clubs. And then we can go hard at that big body midfielder that we need, whether it be Taranto, Jacob Hopper, even from GWS. Just someone to back up Cripps. Because then we can keep Walsh on the wing. I think Walsh is really good there. And then we've got Newman coming back next year to cover Samo on the halfback flank. So I think that he's the one that we need to be tough on him and say, right, mate, there's the door. See you later.
Yeah. Think he's got some trade value?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No. Fair enough, mate. That's you are more than entitled to your opinion, and I'm glad you shared it.
Thank you very much. Let's hope the bag is together.
Hopefully, mate. One more chance. Have a good one. Thanks for coming on.
You too. See you, mate.
See you, mate.
Hey, Terry.
Jimmy Adjo. What's up, mate?
Oh, mate. Look, we're in the business of wins and losses in this competition, and we are fucking reactive, man. We are never on the front foot. This is a team. We should have just been four or five goals ahead at halftime. And I sat there numb, like all Carlton supporters, to that performance. That was fucking shit. It was fucking shit. And I don't think there's many that can hold their head up high, like Wiedering, Harry, yeah. Cripps, mate, you're the captain. You got to get your hands on the ball early. Like they were fucking murdering us in the middle. And we needed Cripper to really go hard a couple of contests and maybe show a little bit of composure, be clean. But, You know, we got Gibbo on, like, he's on the outside. He showed some composure. Michael Gibbons, Wiedering, composure, and we struggled. That first quarter, that's the worst first quarter in a few years. We played Adelaide. I live in South Australia. I'm going to hear it all week. Oh, I put my heart on the line this week. It's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anyone, there's only a handful that can really hold their heads up high, walk off that ground, and say, you know what, I gave it my all today. I think Walsh is probably one of the few.
I agree,
and that's exciting, but at the same time, it's a fucking. It's embarrassing for the club that a 19, 20-year-old kid is the one that's really playing like the leader.
100%, man. That's right.
But like, how is it gonna? How is it gonna end? How is it gonna change? What is it just gonna magically appear around one next year? Are we just going to get better with another preseason?
No, it's not. It's not, man. You know, like we need to put the effort in. The work needs to come. You know, at training they've got to be a little bit harder on each other. Like, imagine what Walsh goes home now and thinks, oh, you know, I gave a fuck today, and my midfield and our leaders didn't. Why am I playing for Carlton? And he bleeds for this club, man. He's a 20-year-old. That guy's, you know, he's in the leadership group and he's a fucking leader. The others need to actually sit back and have a look at how special he is, because if we lose him, that's on them. And get some fucking winners in the coaching box.
Yeah.
So frustrating. Fucking mediocre. Like, it's so annoying. Like, we wait, man, every year. Like, we're patient. And I know there are so many good Carlton supporters who are patient, who show positivity and stuff as well. And honestly, man, I can't stick my neck out much longer. Like, it's tricky. It's fucking tricky.
Just with your point on Walsh, what I worry about is that because the losing seeps in. You know, when you're young, you're exciting, you got that energy. Then the losing seeps in. I mean, Murphy's a bit different because he got injured and that hurt. But I worry about Walsh, even Cripps now. I mean, he's had not his best year. Is it an injury? Is it the weight of the losing? I don't know. And is that going to happen to Walsh? You know, because he plays on a gut instinct to just keep going. You know, if he loses that mentality because he thinks, well, this club's fucked anyway, we're fucked, mate.
We are, man, like 100%. The guy is trying to win us the game. He is getting meters gained. He's trying to get forward. Wiedering is going up, trying to get us forward. Gibbons is taking his time, using a little bit of class. He's in the fucking VFL. Like, he's giving a fuck. Michael Gibbons, that guy can hold his head up high, man. Yeah, all right, he went a little bit out of it towards the end of the game. But today, man, when we needed a goal, he was clean. He was clean as fuck. We needed that. And McGovern come on at, three-quarter time? He was subbed on, was he? I have no fucking idea. Is this 2011? Was he in the vest? Because that was dog shit. McGovern, not good enough. We paid so much for him. Dog shit. Dog shit.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Fair enough, mate. Good on ya. Love your passion.
Yeah. All right, man. Take it easy.
Thanks, legend. Have a good one.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Tyler. How are you, mate?
Yeah, well, to be honest, absolutely gutted. My sister was at the footy, and I can tell you what, she's gutted as well, but what can you do? Well, I've just got so many things just to say about this club, mate. It's just so inconsistent. That's the biggest thing. It's just so inconsistent. And I think the biggest thing for Carlton at the moment is our midfield, and I'm sad to say, has been fully exposed. It's exposed at the moment. It needs a bigger body mid in there, and also they need to be able to hit an inside with the inside 50. The midfield going into the inside 50 is just so poor, and it's really sad because you look at the likes of Harry and all of that, and it's sad to say Mitch, but they're all good players. You've got to give them time to actually use their tradecraft. But I think the biggest thing as well is also the forward line. The boys are so stagnant. They're always playing so deep. They're not running they're not providing a lead. And if you look at the likes of Favola in the past, he always provided a lead. There was always a lead. He was our go-to man. And I think next year there's just got to be something's got to be done. Something has to be done. Either we trade one or two players for either Kelly or even Williams. We need something in that midfield now. I'd love to get Papley, but to me, he's not worth a big body mid. I'm sorry. Something's got to be done. So that's just my opinion, mate, to be honest.
Well, no, love it, mate. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, no worries.
See you, legend.
Hey Terry, mate, how you doing?
Good, Gox, mate. I'm all right, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Those first halves, man. Those first halves, like, it's becoming a recurring problem. Thank God we can say that the season ends for us next week. Like, I don't think anyone can take that anymore. It's just, I don't know if we have a sports psychologist, and if we do, we have to sack that person and get someone in who can actually fucking drill in these players. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing in that first half? Where in the second half we fucking killed them. We killed them in that second half. We kicked 7 goals today too, but it was just too late. We were down by 43 points at halftime. It was just embarrassing.
That's the hard part, isn't it? Because they're so good when they want to be. Like when they want to be, they're actually really good.
We fucking killed them. Like we're talking, we're down 88 disposals to 44 at one point in the first quarter. That's outrageous. Like they had 7 or 8 plays in double digits, and we had Simo on 5 disposals at one point because I was tracking the stats the whole time. It was just embarrassing stuff in that first quarter. I mean, we wrestled some momentum back in the second, and second half we dominated. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's mental. It's all up here. It's all up in there. And like we're talking about Lockyer, I think Rocco was talking about Lockie O'Brien. He comes in, and when Tom Lynch kicked that goal, he was just jogging, man. He hasn't played all season.
That was a poor effort. Yeah, that was a very poor effort. He won't look. I hope he won't look. He won't like the look of that footage. That did not look good for him at all.
He's played his first game all year. He hasn't. I mean, he probably doesn't have match fitness, but then why is he getting a game? You know, it's crazy. And Doherty as well. Why did he play?
Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, I think obviously the game meant something for the club, contention, all of that. So I can understand he's wanting to put himself out there, and I'm not so angry at him for playing because he probably thought, well, this is like our grand final kind of thing because it's season on the line type stuff. But it doesn't go our way today with Doc, unfortunately. That's a calf. He won't play next week. You wouldn't have thought. But yeah, look, Sean Costello made a comment here before about, it's taken the second last round of the year for us to be completely out of it. So yes, there is something to be proud of. But I think if we get too caught up in the improvement and rest our laurels on the improvement, the 17 other clubs are just going to keep moving forward and charging forward. Yeah,
exactly. We're going to be contending with better teams next year. And this year's been compromised anyway. So a few teams might not be playing their best. So next year's absolute no excuses. We've been saying that every year, but 2021 is the start of a decade. Fuck 2020.
Yep. Good on you, mate. Very good points. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks, mate.
Terry. Can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate. Talk to me.
Oh, you look shattered, bro. You look fucking shattered.
Yeah, mate. I was my voice was getting a workout in the second quarter because it's just not good enough, mate. Now I'm subdued because I forgot who the caller was before, but he just sort of said, he was Benji, he was 13. He said, "This is just all I know." Well, and this is just all I know. I can just cop it now because I go for a losing club. It's been that way for my whole life.
Yeah, mate. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I just think some of these reactions are just fucking way over the top. And I've got to be careful because I don't want to give the team an excuse. But I just don't think this was the type of game to start calling for, we should trade SPS, we should trade McGovern, we should trade this, we should trade that. This game was, I just think the blame is being diverted to the players when really it should be on that selection committee. This game was the 4th game in 14 days, right? The last few weeks, we didn't drop Cripps, or we didn't rest Cripps, we didn't rest Doherty, we didn't rest Wiedering, we didn't rest Betts. Now, that tells me that Teague and that team either have no faith in what's underneath them, or they just don't have the guts to make the change. it's just shit like that. So I'm sick of. Like, why did Eddie play today? I'm sorry, he doesn't offer anything. He doesn't offer anything. His last 5 weeks of footy, he's laid 4 tackles inside 50. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I looked that up. He's laid 4 tackles inside 50 his last 5 weeks of footy. So I hate this perception that he applies pressure, but this entire performance falls on the selection team because we don't have a good footy clubs rest their best players. This footy frenzy, 4 games in 14 days, that requires smart management and rest. Do you know what I mean? Like, Adelaide came into this game red hot, and we're playing guys like, I don't know about you, but I was looking at that midfield battle. There was no pressure from our guys. They're out on their feet in the first quarter. There was space everywhere. Adelaide ran, did what they wanted. I just think that falls on the selection committee. I don't think you can put that on the players. Oh, we should trade this guy. We should trade that guy. It's just a massive overreaction from one. Like, I'm pissed off that we lost, but I'm not like calling for. I'm not shattered because I know what I saw out there, and going by the efforts this team's put in over the year, that performance was the outlier. Like, that lack of effort. I reckon it is. I reckon it was. Like, last week, yeah, but they came back in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we put ourselves. Yeah. We almost. It was almost the same game as the game before against the Swans. It was a lackluster-ish first half. The only difference was we got a few goals before half time. We lifted in the second half because we needed to lift. And then I think today was just one of those cases of it was too much of a hole because we came back. But it was too much of a hole. And look, I agree with you. We don't need to trade players based off one game. I don't think the comments are coming from one game, though. I think the comments are coming from a place of we need to add some serious quality and winning into this team. And I think a lot of the time when we talk about trading for Papley and all of that, the idea is, we've got picks, so we've got to trade picks. You don't just trade picks for Papley, yeah? Like, you don't just trade picks for players. There's off season's going to come. Then those discussions will come up. But this fantasy that just picks and money will do for big successful gun players, it's a fantasy, mate. It's a fantasy.
Yeah, look, for contracted players, yeah, it is. But I mean, I'm not looking at like SPS and saying, oh, he has to go. Like, last week was one of his great games. So I just think it's a bit reactive, but I just think Teague's reliance on these old blokes, our senior core. Like, I'm starting to think we don't have a coach who's strong enough to drop his mates. Like, Eddie Betts, how did he get a game? He should not have played. If you're telling me, if Teague's sitting here and he's telling me that Eddie played, because it was Gibber's last game and Cruiser's there, are you fucking kidding? Why did Eddie play? And look what happened when he put Cunners in the midfield. Like, towards the end there. Like, Hannah's pushed up the ground, and look at that bit of run, bit of spark. And another thing from Teague last week, after the loss 2 weeks ago, he said, we're looking for players who step up, right? Cottrell goes and did what he did. And I don't care about Cottrell's, he was average up until that point. Teague asked for players to step up and show that, yes, I'm putting my hand up, I want to do it. Cottrell did that, and he gets dropped. Like, it's just that the messaging from Teague and just the lack of what it seems to be courage and selection is really annoying me. Like, this was a game to get Dow in there and all these other kids. Why did Murphy start? Like, it's too much reliance on the old blokes. And my fear going forward is when we have to transition them out and rely on youth, it's going to result in a big dip in form because I don't think Teague showed enough courage this year to try and bridge that transition. So that's my opinion, but.
Yeah, fair enough, I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you very much for sharing them.
Easy, mate. Enjoy.
Awesome, mate. Likewise, brother. Take care of yourself.
All right.
What's going on over there, mate?
That was fun, wasn't it? Hey, I love football. I mean, I don't feel like I'm surprised anymore. Do you know what I mean? And I'm hearing players, like people say, the same old trite. We need a big-bodied midfielder. Find me a big-bodied midfielder in the comp that is elite by foot, that has a high inside 50 ratio conversion rate. I mean, Ollie Wines is mentioned. He's 11% and 50% by foot. Like, big-bodied midfielders genuinely can't fix the inside 50 count. You're looking at your outsiders. Like, we can point fingers at people. We can say we can bring players in, but until there's a desire, and I'm telling you now, 100%, it is fucking desire that is missing in this club. And players who are brought in can't fucking give you that. That is a mentality that transcends from the top of the tree down to the fucking bottom. And the workers are the players. And I'm sorry, but look at the club as a whole. We project how much money we fucking made. Do you know what I mean? This week, all I've heard from the fans is I hope fucking Gibbs gets carried off. I hope Gibbs gets carried off. Are you fucking kidding me, people? He doesn't play for us anymore. He won us fuck all. This doesn't fly where I come from. In England, we don't fucking celebrate players that did fuck all for us. Because finals is on the fucking line. The way people jogged in the first quarter, fucking jogged. Finals on the line. You've got GWS making a shit show of themselves, giving us a third chance, and there's no passion. No fucking passion. I'm sick of it. You've got Chris Breach crying, man. Fucking crying. And people in the comments laughing at him for crying. No wonder we're shit, because you lot clapped them off. And you've got players, fans crying, paying fucking money, crying over it, man. I'm so fucking upset. I'm wearing a headband. That is how fucking upset I am. Because right now, even my hair doesn't sit right. And I can't say next year. I can't say next year. I can't say, even that bloke, can he fix that? Can he fix that? Them inside 50s, man, are fucking harsh. So fucking shit, man. But it's all right, though, because Gibbs had 30 on his fucking farewell game. Do you know what I mean? It's all right. Let's have a fucking big knees up at that. Fuck me. The highlight of the game for some people is Gibbs fucking got carried off. Have a fucking word with yourself if that is it. If that is the highlight of that game, what are we fucking doing with our lives? Why do I waste all my fucking time making fucking videos for this shit? If that's what it's about, players having a fucking good time and having a send-off, why don't we fucking win a game and fucking give Gibbs a fucking handshake or something? Smash him off the field and have a beer with him. Fuck me, man.
Yeah. No, look.
I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Like, it's amazing as well when you watch our team and you isolate Harry McKay and he fucking destroys people when he's in the goal square 1 out. Gibbons on the ball. Who fucking would have thought a guy that came from nothing, got into the AFL as a midfielder, tore up the VFL, could give you something? It fucking hurts, man. And there's players, there's fans crying over this. That's what I want to see my players do. And to be honest, like, there's a question here, how would you fix it? Fucking haven't got a Scooby, mate. I haven't got a Scooby. How do you fix something fucked from the ground to the fucking very top? Rocco's spot on, man. Spot on. Bring that ruthless cunt of a club back. Bring it back. That's the way we get back. That's the way we get it back. We take it because that's what Carlton's about. Winning football matches. And we do it fucking ugly. We do what we want. This is our town. Our fucking time. You got David Teague at half-time or talking about how disappointed he is with our centre clearances. With the intensity I order a fucking pizza. You're winding me up. Do you know what I mean? If that was me and you said this, oh, Dan, you're getting beat at half-time, I would have fucking lost it. I would have said, every cunt that's on the ball is off the ball. We have a desire. We take this game. take this game by the tits. But fucking no, we're not winning out of the centre clearance. We turned the ball over. They had 11 uncontested intercept marks in the first half, and we got smashed through transition. It was like watching Collingwood just walk through the corridor. And Teague's like, oh, we didn't win centre clearances. Really? You think that's the big issue, mate? That's the fucking issue. Where's these inside 50s coming from as well? These inside 50s, like, what the fuck is that about? I've never seen a side do that. Like, I go and watch David in Auskick and the inside 50s are fucking better. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it's all right when people say we're reactive, but no one sees that as a problem. No one sees that as a problem, that we have to be beat to come back. Do you know what I mean? Like, where's that intensity and that hunger and that desire from ball up? Because it was all on the line today. You win today, and we can laugh about fucking GWS. It's almost like, I said it last week in my review, it's like the fucking Mighty Ducks. And someone's just commented it now, and it made me think of it. It's like, we're trying to think of the perfect movie. Let's be 50 down, and then Cripper will do a little cocky walk, the music will stop, the crowd will go quiet, fucking Zachy Williams will start playing a tune, he'll kick a goal and we'll win. Like, we can't keep doing it. We need to be 50 up at the half, man. And I just don't get it anymore. I'm in so much pain. I just want to, fucking, I don't know, cry.
Well said, mate. Look, your passion is unmatched. I love it. I love you. I'll call you after we finish with this, and we'll have a royal yarn about it.
Well, I love you all, fans, club, freaking football. Thank you for ruining my life. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
See you, brother. Thanks a lot. E-Kicker with a $7.99 donation says, in my opinion, we can't drop Murphy. We owe Simpson another year. Dropping them isn't the answer. Thanks very much. AFL Things, what's going on, bud?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Mate, I'm good. Well, I'm not good. I've been better, but being here with the people is a little bit better.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
We were terrible with the first half. Like, we just let them get cheap touches inside 50s, and in the first half, Casbolt was fine. Mackay, Petrovsky said, and he's good. Cripper, he was very poor that opening half, and that second half he played all right, and it was a good game in the second half.
Yeah. Why do we do this to ourselves, mate? Why do we make it so hard on ourselves?
We have to keep kicking goals in the opening half. We have to play the way we play in the second half, so then we can start winning more games.
Yep. Well, mate, I hope that your life doesn't turn out like mine as a supporter when you're my age. I hope you see more success than me. Thanks so much for coming on.
No problem.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
What a legend.
Tez.
Adam.
Fuck, mate. Fucking hell. I don't know. All right, so I'm nearly 37.
Yep.
I got my first job as a bricklayer when I was 16. In the February, I was stoked because then I could afford to buy my own fucking membership that year. That was the year 2000. Since that point, fuck. Just for 20 years, I think we're going all right. At the start of the year, we were playing some all right footy. We smashed the Bulldogs, who, what's the score? Who are fucking flogging Hawthorn as we speak. Look at this shit.
Doing their job.
We beat those fucks by 50-odd points. And then, you know, we think, yeah, fuck, we're on all right footy side. You know, we get all excited. We fucking jump around like, look at us, hey, we're fucking all right. But I tell you what, fuck. For a side that does get a lot of football inside 50, we do get a lot of looks at goal. Our lack of composure when we go inside, you can see that, yeah, we've got to get it in, we've got to get it in, we've got to get it in. But we can't hit up a fucking lead. And thank God for Harry. Honestly, thank God for that bloke, because Mitch McGovern isn't even as useless as tits on a bull. That bloke is a fucking fraud. He needs to let his brother shag his fucking wife to say, thank you, you got me an $800,000 contract because of our last name. He is fucking hopeless. For a bloke that's out of contract at the end of this year, I tell you what, VFL sides wouldn't even take that piece of shit at the moment. I coach local footy in one of the shittest leagues in Melbourne. I'd struggle to have him in my fucking forward line because he just wouldn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he finished with. What did he finish with? 8 touches?
Yeah. Look, he
kicked a goal. Like, he went at 38% efficiency. 38%. Come on, man. I mean, I know our delivery inside 50 is fucking horrible. It is really, 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 really bad. And Levi's cracked the shits with it. You can see it. He's not in a good headspace. This is the kid that grew up barracking for Carlton, whose career was over 2 years ago. And then his wife said to him, Levi, pull your head in. You're playing for the club that you supported as a kid. How good is this? And that got him through the next 2 years. And then as the years gone on, and ball after ball got kicked over his head or on his head, and let 10 defenders jump all over the poor bloke and smash into him every week. And the guy with, you know, rock solid hands just can't do it anymore. You know, and then he's got to look over at a piece of shit like McGovern and go, mate, you earn double what I earn. And what the fuck do you give this club? You know, you kick a goal against Collingwood last year, you run in and grab your fucking jumper and say to the cheer squad, look at me, I'm all for fucking Carlton. I'm all for Carlton. He's not. He's not. You know, we bag our backline players. We bag Plowman. Plowman, I think the kid's all right. I really do. He tries his guts out. Is he the best defender in the world? No, he's not. He's not. But, you know, you can see him. He's just so nervous. He doesn't want to make the mistake. SPS, you know, he's played in the wrong position. He really is. He's not our halfback. He does all these 10-meter little balls inside. You know what I mean? He doesn't take a whole lot of meters. If you're going to play him as a halfback, he's got to be a rebounding halfback. He's got to stick the ball 60 meters down the ground. You know what I mean? If we're going to play him there, let's play him properly. Samo, get the ball, stick your boot into it, stick us forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are bagging him, but he's clearly not played in the right spot. Murphy's done. Murphy, you know what I mean? You were a good player, not a great player, a good player till Chris Judd rocked up, and then Chris Judd rocked up and took the focus off him. Then he got a few injuries because he cracked in, but his career stalled, and that's sort of where he stayed. And unfortunately, when he kicks that ball to a 2-on-1, he kicks a fucking tall and hits the Adelaide player on the tits. He's just lost thing. Eddie Betts.
Yeah.
Eddie Betts. Unfortunately, Eddie, we love you, but he's done. Simo, does the club have to make the call and say, Simo, thanks, you've been great, but we have to be bigger than the individual and force us to develop that next player. You know, there's just so many things, and I could bang on for hours and hours and hours and hours on how pissed off we are, and we do it every week. But Brisbane will smash us next week. Then we've got to look forward to Richmond in fucking March, hopefully in front of 30,000 at the G, because let's be honest, we probably won't get any more.
No, good on you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Taz.
Thanks, mate. Guys, just be mindful. Cam, just wait one moment. Guys, just be mindful. I don't want to tell you guys what to do. You're all responsible for your own words. Just please be mindful of going too personal with the players. Criticize the performance. please don't go personal. We're responsible for our own words as people. So I'll leave it at that. Next up, thanks, Shad.
Tez, can you hear me?
Cam, what's happening, brother?
Look, first of all, I've always loved your show. My best mate was one of your first podcasts. Now, look, it might just be my stage of life. You know, I'm finishing uni this year and whatever. So I'm not heartbroken over this loss, because I've sort of come to expect that this is just this is where the list is, unfortunately. Like, we've got great guys, you know, Sam Walsh, Setters, Weeders. We know that they're going, you know, they're on an upwards trajectory. They're good players. They've got a good mindset as well. And, you know, I'm not going to be personal to Murph or Simo or Eddie or whatever, because they've been champions of the club and whatever. Unfortunately, that's the position we're in, that they're just, you know, they were never Luke Hodge. They're not going to, in their final year, still be that real moments player. They're great contributors and everything. But, you know, I just think with the club, and I've disliked him for a long time, and that's fine. But, you know, guys like McGovern and whatever, they've been brought in as a leader. You know, I remember in his first interview, he was talking about how he's come here to sort of lead the forward line, and that Charlie might be taking over from him in a couple of years and stuff. He's come in as almost like a junior. Like, I would be more confident in Charlie being the general up forward with Harry next to him than I would with Gov and stuff. And, you know, we can talk about trade targets and everything all the time. You know, if it's Zach Williams or Tom Papley, or if it's Liam Baker and Jack Graham, I couldn't care less. You know, two of them are superstars. Two of them are just, you know, good, solid battlers. But I just feel like, you know, I think a few guys said it earlier, we've got to move past some of these guys. And, you know, we can speculate on Dow and Samo and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's pretty clear we need to get some guys in who are just drivers. You know, I remember Kerridge. He wasn't a great player by any means, but he was a super, super trainer. And it sort of built up. You know, we've got a few guys who are pretty good runners and everything. They probably wouldn't have been around if we didn't have these guys pushing through. You know, I remember Bernie Vince at Melbourne. He was no champion, but he, you know, from everything you heard, he was just a driver of success. And, you know, I'm glad we've got guys like Little and, you know, Luke Powers come in. And I know there's been controversy with Little and stuff, but he's come from a successful culture. And I just think that's what we need. Like, it's stark to me that that's our issue. We just need to build a winning culture. And if that means shuffling around a few players, you know, that's what we got to do, I think.
Yeah. No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Some really good points there. Thanks so much for sharing.
Love your work,
Thanks,
mate.
brother. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it a lot.
Terry, mate, how are you?
I'm good, Luke. How are you, mate?
I'm hanging in. It's about 2:30 here in the U.S., 2:30 a.m.
Oh, where in the U.S.?
Ohio, East Coast.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to keep you up.
Believe me, it wouldn't be the first night it's kept me up. The longtime Carlton supporter through my dad, and you know, we've gone through some tough years, and I think kind of the toughest thing for me tonight wasn't necessarily the guys who, you know, the players who we've come to not expect maybe the best from, like the McGoverns, you know, the kind of the disappointing players who haven't necessarily turned out. But for me, the most disappointing thing tonight was like the lack of efforts from a Murphy, who's given so much to this team, and how Adelaide's mids just consistently beat us to the fall of the ball. It felt like there were a couple of goals, certainly in the second half, where, you know, they beat us to the fall of the ball. It takes a bad skip or a bad hop, and somehow we end up on it and counterattacking the other way when they were still the first ones to the fall of it. So I think just the effort tonight was poor, and I think that's kind of to be expected when playing so many games in such a tight window. But I guess more than anything, it's just the effort that was that was the toughest thing to watch, of just guys not giving their all for the jumper.
Yeah, I mean, it was an important game. It was an important game, and I said this before. The frustrating part is we can be so good, and when we started kicking a few goals in that third quarter, I got that feeling of, are we going to do this again? Or are we actually going to win this game again? Because we've got that potential, but we're left ruining. We're left ruining, and we're left wondering, why did they come out like that? Did they expect it to happen? Was the mentality not right from the first bounce? Unfortunately, we're left ruining and asking more questions than what we have answers.
Yeah, and I think the tricky part is, obviously you've got the 4, 5, 6 guys out of the 22 who are kind of just, deadwood or need investment or need development, however big that number is, I guess depends on your perspective. But, the mid 10 to 15 guys of the 22 that we carry on game day, like, need just a basic investment of energy and of caring. And that energy and that enthusiasm isn't there necessarily consistently from guy to guy. Like a guy like Cunningham he just shows it in flashes. A guy like even McGovern, I guess to an extent, just shows that in flashes. And it's just, how do you get all 22 committed for all 4 quarters? How do you get them signed on for all 4 quarters? Because as you said, when they're locked in, they're going.
Yep. No. Mate, I love your points. I love your points. Thank you. Thanks for staying up all the way from Ohio and joining. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, Cesar. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Luke. That's fascinating. Paddy, 1 second. Let me just close my blind here.
Quick note, guys, if you're in the waiting room, just check the private chat. Make sure you keep checking the private chat if you're in the waiting room. Cheers.
Thanks, Shad. I want to speak to Mark as soon as possible if he's available. Paddy, what happened, mate?
Oh, Tez. Absolutely filthy, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely filthy. Came on last week thinking, hopefully that was the old Kickstarter that I'll jump on. It was the first win that I jumped on, and, everyone's, sunshine lollipops. But unfortunately, Tez, about 10 weeks ago, this is before they even won a game. Adelaide, that is. Remember, we played Adelaide, okay? They've been a basket case all year. Yeah, they hit some form. But 10 weeks ago, before they even had a win, this was my worst nightmare, was playing them. Hopefully, luckily enough, they did pick up a win or two, and playing them and then losing to them while we had finals still on the agenda. That was my worst nightmare. Could you imagine if they didn't win a game and we played them today? And what we dished up, it was just 2012 versus Gold Coast all over again. It had shades of that where Ratton got the arse, and it just reminded me. In the whole 10 weeks, maybe just over a month, I was just shitting myself against playing these guys, and of course they hit their straps right at the right time. But even so, we're lucky to get away against Freo. Let's be honest, it was basically goal of the year from Nunes, and then lucky to get away against Sydney with basically the last kick of the game almost. Like, we're year 5 in the fucking rebuild. I look at Richmond that started in 2010. They played finals 3 years later. I look at Hawthorn back in before their campaign. They all these teams that have rebuilt, they play in finals 3 or 4 years later. We're year 5. Okay, like this, it's all mental. We're a better side than Adelaide. We are, but it's all in our mindset. It's just embedded in the club of fucking losing. We all came into the game today. We could have been 4th on the ladder. We could have been 2nd on the ladder for all we know. And we're playing last. It's a Carlton way that we always just fold under expectation. We crumble every time. It's probably the 3rd or 4th time this year. Probably the 3rd time this month. It fucking shits me. It hurts me. For 20 years, we've had the same mindset, the same mentality of just losing. Like when we're supposed to win, we just don't play for the club. Like it goes to the leaders, it goes to the top. And for those that are bashing Murphy, fuck off. Like seriously, he literally has been the best servant that we've had for 15, 20 years. Like him and Simo, we're crying. We are crying to move them on, but we just don't have that extra support. We just don't. And it's development. And I said it a couple of weeks ago on your channel, Tez, about I'm really, really worried about our development. I am. It's Lockie O'Brien, top 10 pick today. The guy that we got him for was Bryce Gibbs, plays basically his first game of the fucking year and gets 27 disposals. You know, it's just, and then the audacity to fucking chair him off. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a Carlton great. We just lost our fucking finals hope, and we get him up on our shoulders saying everything's all good.
Did the Carlton players cheer him off? Because I didn't see that.
Yes, we did, Tez. I think it was Murph and Simo. What do you think of that before I start fucking really laying it?
If we had have won the game, I'm okay with it. I'm sure it was pre-planned. I personally feel there was too much hugs and smiles and happiness before the game, and I feel like we came out like that because we didn't want to hurt them, and they wanted to hurt us. And it just isn't a good look right now that we've lost the game the way that we did.
I can tell you now, there's 17 other clubs that know Carlton's mindset, and no matter where they are on the ladder, no matter where we are on the ladder, they come into that game thinking it's Carlton. We can beat this. And it's blokes where, I think you said half an hour ago, Sam Walsh, 18, 19-year-old kid who hasn't been around success. It's just that losing mentality that does set in. Weeders now has been 5 years in the system. He's just getting it. These players are getting that embedded in their brain where we just don't have the right people in the coach's box. Where is the support? Where was the support with Bolton? He may not have been the right person for the job, but we've got Teague. He's proven, he can take us forward. But where is his support? This is going to be the most important trade period off season of our club's history in the past 25 years. If we don't get the players in and around to help your Crips, the classy players that knows how to fucking hit a target 20 meters away, if we don't get these correct players that can fill the gap where we can get a Jack Graham, suits us to a T. I don't care what anyone fucking says. He's got that winning culture. It's more about the player. It's the environment that he's been in. These are the sort of players that can will this whole side together and get this belief. It is the most important period because if we fail, we're going straight back down, and we're going to be back down again for a long time. If we thought this is long enough, then Jesus, fucking Mary and Joseph, we haven't seen anything yet. So we have to go forward here. This is the trade period where we really need to get these, not necessarily go after stars, but plug the holes and get some success up in the coach's box.
Yep. Good on you, mate. Thanks so much.
On you, Tez.
Thanks, Ledge. I reckon I've heard that line about the trade period every year for the last 10 or so years. Mr. Mark.
This is going to be one of the longest interviews that you'll have. I'm keeping calm first. I'm going to keep calm first before I unleash. Firstly, I just want a little shout out again to Rocco because of his passion of this great club, and I feel for you. Dan, as well, again, being a palm to an Aussie right here. We know we're bitter rivals in that department, but you know what? You care just like Rocco and the rest of us supporters for this God-forsaken club. Now, I know you did say you're not going to plot any players. Of course, I'm not going to do that either. That's fair enough. That was never my intention, because I just think of this quote from Coach Carter. We're a team. One player struggles, we all struggle. One player triumphs, we all triumph, right? But you see, today, again, you know, a bit like last week, a bit like the majority of the games that's happened throughout this year. For fuck's sake! Why every single fucking time we give teams from the bottom half, or doesn't matter who, where, the fucking start that they get? We should have been up by 40 to 50 points up at the fucking start of this game. When is it going to take it that we as a club know that our finals hopes were on the line somehow by the little snip of a bee's dick, that it was still there, but we give teams like that, who, you know what, they had nothing to play for. I know they won a couple in a row, but you know what? We've for too long been a fucking nice fucking club. And you know what? It almost feels like I've been too much of a nicer bloke. I feel like I need to have this heel turn, because this club needs a full heel turn. Ruthless fucking aggression. Severe coarse language. Violence on my furniture. Adult themes. You name it all. I'll tell you right now, Tez. No. This is fucking fair income, okay? You know what? To kids watching, and especially women, please just be mindful. If you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, because it's going to be pretty violent, please do not stay tuned. If you're willing to take it from the man here, please feel free. But I'm telling you right now, Tez, you look at us. We're in our final years of our 20s, yeah? The last time we won a fucking flag, we were, 3-4 years of age? I remember the old man showing me the old clip of the 95 grand final and the team that he obviously had to endure at his time. It was pretty simple, son. When I was your age, the team that we saw out there, it was how far, and we were looking for blood. Now, we're looking to donate and give blood to the freaking bottom-feeding sides to just rip through our freaking club, because it's fucking disgusting. You know, just like that GWS game, we freaking let that slip. But you know what? Then you saw what happened with Sydney, but doesn't matter. Today was our worst game that we've played for the entire year. We were second to the ball like no tomorrow. I cannot think of the last time we were almost that bad than maybe when we lost to them by 100 points a couple of years ago, or even the time when Hawthorn had pulled our pants down. We as fans so much want more, okay? I mean, if I was to say one player, Harry Mackay, it's simple. If you actually give the bloke a chance one-on-one, as you saw what he did on Siggy Butts, Jordan Butts. Luckily, it wasn't Daniel Taylor, because I reckon we could have been in a bit of big more trouble there. But you see what he was able to do if you give it to him one-on-one? But again, the blazing and the bombing, it was ripping my goddamn hair out. See this top right here? There's the old number 4. If you sort of can't. There it is, a bit right there. I used to wear that with pride and fucking honour with Bryce Gibbs. Now it's Lockie O'Brien. Of course, the kid will have time. But again, I know I did say that I wasn't going to really mention about players. I know I did that, but obviously not for potting. This is more of they need to really start thinking what it actually means to play for this club. It's as simple as that. Now, I know a lot of people have been wanting to talk about winners, coaches, getting players. You know what? The trade period will take care of itself. We seriously need a whole culture fixation. I have here a list that I made that I'm pretty sure I might have shown you not long ago about Carlton's coaching panel for 2021. If you look at who's there at 2020, Henry Playfair, what is he, head of coaching performance? What did he ever achieve in his fucking life? Nothing. Brett Stanton, another one, like Mark Murphy bootleg. But Stanton, another hack. John Barker was part of the worst Hawthorn era that you can ever imagine. Cameron Bruce, same with Hawthorn and Melbourne. Didn't go really anywhere for him. My list with David T that needs goddamn support. Because you know what? As much as we all want to think that it's the coach, he needs help. I kept yelling on the TV simply because I'm like, T, do something. Not just like this. I'm just thinking, who is in his ear trying to help him for plan B and C? One person cannot do everything themselves as much as you think that they can. All right, so here's the list that I'm probably sure that everybody would like to hear. I have as a head of coaching performance, and again, this could be in any order, but we just need these names at our club, period. Michael Voss, part of that Brisbane Premiership legacy. Luke Hodge, either in the leadership department or especially in our backline, because he was obviously able to point and direct and actually provide good leadership to actually get players where to actually sit behind the ball, or let alone what the next contest is going to be like. That's knowing the football IQ DNA right there on this Madonna di Testa Chuchoki. Brett Kirk, forwards. Now, he did obviously have a little forward stint in his career, but he was mostly a midfielder. But you know what? He actually had that forwards coaching role when he was at the Swans for about a few years. Whether we put him there, but you know what? You get another bloke that, you know what? He bled for his blood club of the Sydney Swans. And we need someone like him that can obviously try and get these boys to actually know what it means to bleed for the club, even though he was a Swan. But anyways, I have, as a midfield and stoppages coach, how's this one? Scott Camporelli. Why am I mentioning this? Well, you got to think. He used to actually be with David Teague in his little stint at Adelaide, where obviously he was part of the coaching panel with Don Pike, and obviously with Phil Walsh, tragic death right there, of course. But you know what? He was also a premiership player at Carlton back in his first year. But you know what? He had cunt in him, all right? He had motherfucking cunt in him! And we don't have that anymore! Do you understand why I'm being like this? I feel like I shouldn't have to, but you know what? This is fucking fair income because I've seriously had enough, okay? This fan cam needs a bit of everything, okay? Sometimes it may hurt you first, but when it does so hard, the pain will be washed away and the ultimate game will be there if we freaking put in as a club. So Scott Camporelli is another one that I've put listed down. Midfield and transition, Nigel Lappin. Just like Michael Voss, he was also part of that Brisbane Lions dynasty, as well as how he played in the midfield. He was just another on-baller that basically did his job, but was also a good runner. But again, another player that just knew the ins and outs of what to do to get the job done for the team. And you can see from what he's been doing at Geelong, he's putting in the winning culture right there. You know,
Wrap it up,
Luke,
mate.
Yeah, I'll be very quick. So obviously you have Luke Power, head of development. Okay, he's already there. Now, with Cruiser retiring, he should be our specialist ruck coach. Specialist goal kicking coach, Jonathan Brown. Now, you're probably thinking, why are these Brisbane players? Because they were champions and they fucking destroyed Essendon and Collingwood, especially they were our biggest near rivals. And last but not least, our skills coach, Simon Black. You get all those guys that used to play for each other, that knew each other inside and out, had great chemistry in that Brisbane team, and look what they produced. They were all winners. And until we get those at our club, that's the only way we can be back to the top. As Six used to say, we're Carlton. Fuck the rest. Have a good day. I'll hopefully look to see you soon. Come on, Blues. For fuck's sake, you got to lift.
Thanks, mate. Oh, shit. Jason Terranova.
Hey, Tess. How are you?
Mate, I'm different. I don't know.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that, mate. That was 9 minutes, and I don't know. I don't have that kind of passion in me. I don't think so.
I'm dead inside, mate. I've got no soul. I'm dead. I'm a dead carcass on the inside. You know.
Oh, I've been ruined, mate. A few weeks ago, I had Rocco come up straight after me, and now I got this bloke straight right before me. Some sort of conspiracy, I think. Before I start, as usual, shout out good friend H who's watching today. How are you, mate? Good to have you on board. Richmond supporter, but I mean we're slowly converting. I reckon we can get him over the line in a while. Well, onto the shit stuff now, as usual, and it seems like we're always talking about the shit stuff, but easier to talk about than the good stuff. I really got to wonder what we are standing for currently as a club. And I get that there's sentiment in the game, and I get that players are human, and I'm not going to say you're not allowed to smile or laugh or joke after a game because, you know, they do. They're people, and that's what they're going to do. But there was something about the end of that game in particular, watching Simo go and hand Gibbs the ball, having a laugh with him and cheering him off. Like, I was happy for us to cheer him off. If anything, I would have preferred one of our blokes, maybe Murph and someone like a Rory Sloane, cherry him off. But the look of that to me, I wasn't a fan of. I thought we've just lost. We haven't turned up for a game, which is pretty par for the course for us in these kind of games. And we're smiling, we're laughing after a game like we just don't care. And I don't know. I think we need a reality check and a look at the kind of culture that we have been perpetrating for years now. I complained to some of my mates in a group chat about this, and I said, who's doing this stuff? Like, teams be laughing at us going, look, Carlton lost again and they're not going to make finals. And that's just what Carlton do. That's just them. Cade Simpson's not going to win. Mark Murphy's not going to win. And that's just what's going to happen. And one of them goes, Hawthorn got shit canned for laughing during a game when they lost to the Eagles, I believe. And he's like, all teams do it. It's like, yeah, but Hawthorn have got runs on the board. Hawthorn have won more flags in their lifetime than I have seen Carlton wins in my footy watching life, that is. They can do it. They've got the runs on the board. They can do it, and they can rebuild, and they've got that luxury of the really good coach, and they've got a really good culture, and they can get players through. With us, I look at it and I'm thinking, what are we doing? Like, who are we?
We're a fucking social club, mate. That's what we are. We're a social club. It's not about winning. It's about loving one another and giving each other hugs. And I didn't see the Gibbs footage after the game. I came straight onto here. I probably would have been even more filthier if I did.
It's
to be honest.
And look, and I saw your tweet during the game to say, you get what you deserve. And I honestly think we did. I think we got so caught up in looking at, and what a champion Gibbs was for us, and what a champion Cruiser was for us. And it's like, yeah, cool, but let's win. Win now, and then say, look, Gibbs, we love you. That's great, And if we cheered him off and we'd won, I would have had absolutely no issues with it, and I'd be happy to clap him off, big smiles on our faces. But after we don't show up and we lose like that, and you see Gibbs smiling and laughing and pointing out to the crowd and his family, he's stoked, while you've got Simo and Murph carrying him, smiling and having a laugh as well. And you think, who are we? Honestly, who are we? There's so much we got to work on. You can see SPS after the game swapping jerseys with Shane McAdam, and I believe the commentator said they're related and they're both from Halls Creek. But again, what's McAdam going to get out of that jersey? This is the day we beat Carlton. What's SPS going to get out of it? This is the day we didn't turn up and dashed our finals hopes. It makes no sense, and it brought me back. I don't like to say this about professionals, but it just brought me back to playing junior footy, where you'd be kind of a mid-table side, and you'd go, but we're playing the bottom side this week, and we might not be good, and we might lose to the good sides, but we're playing a shit side, so we're all going to get our 30 disposals, and we're all going to kick our bags of goals, and it's just going to come to us easy. And we do not deal with pressure from hungry sides ever. As soon as a side comes out that we perceive are worse than us, and they come out and they put pressure on and they tackle and they move the ball well, we cannot hack it. Look at Sydney last week, look at Hawthorn, look at Adelaide today, look at North Melbourne when they were raking us back in. I honestly reckon we look at teams and we go, we're better than them. It doesn't really matter. And we forget who we are as a side.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. Very well said. I'm not looking forward to looking at this footage of us cheering off Gibbs. I'm really not.
Don't look at it, mate. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Because look, like I said, it's I don't want to say we don't know how to win, but it's a fact of it. We are the likable, nice David Teague. I'm not angry. I'm just a bit, I'm a bit sad. Half time he's going, look, yeah, they just beat us in this and they just beat us in that and whatever. Get angry and get a rocket up the players who look like they just do not care. And I don't care how many games I've had in 14 days or whatever. If you put that jumper on and you run out there, then you are ready to play and there are no excuses. You've just got to go.
Yep. Good on you, mate. Thanks so much for
Gary.
sharing. Thanks, Ledge. Have a good one.
Hey.
What up, JP?
Hey, that was a stressful game.
It was, mate.
When we were losing by like 43 or 44, I just sat back and just watched us. And it took us 22 inside 50s to get 1 goal. 22. And then we ended up at the end of the game having the same amount of inside 50s as Adelaide. But inside 50s, we have Mackay. He's got the speed. He should lead, and he should take a mark. I can see he's doing that. I can see he's been doing it. And I'm not gonna judge on any players or anyone. I really thought we would put Kennedy for Mitch McGovern. We last week got 5 disposals and did dog shit. I thought we would put Kennedy in because I think he's been doing good in scratch match. I don't know, but yeah, it's just 2018 Carlton. 2018 Carlton.
It was, wasn't it, mate? It was. It was hard to watch. It was very hard to watch that. Yeah. What do we do next week?
We should. Mitch McGovern has to go. You have that feeling that you're like, he's going to bring out this week. He's going to do better this week. But then, and you look at the list, you're like, oh, this kid, that kid, Samo, they're all good. You think, and then you match them up with different the opposition and their players and what you've seen of the opposition. And it just doesn't work. They just, they can smash Adelaide like 70 points. We could have done that. But our players don't show their full potential. If you know what I mean.
JP, I love you, mate. I love what you've brought to this fan cam. You've said it all very well. Good on you, mate.
Easy. See ya.
Thanks, legend. I really enjoyed that. One sec. Let me open this blind again. Alex.
Harry.
What up, mate?
Not much. Don't have the Mac cultural energies this week. I went to the Carlton. Oh yeah, I went to the Carlton Adelaide game last year where we beat them at the G, if you remember. And I was like, "Fuck, the Crows suck." Like their midfield, like the Crouch brothers, Sloan, they suck. God, they gave us a bath in the midfield today. They just destroyed us in there. That was embarrassing in the midfield. God.
How do they come with more desire than us? How does that happen? It's going to be the main question.
They're playing they've got nothing to play for, so they can just go out there, play with freedom, play to their strengths.
You know what? That's exactly what it is. They played with pride.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking that hurts. That hurts that you said that because you're right. They played with pride in that first half, and we didn't.
Mitch McGovern. I just want to speak a little bit about him. This was his heat map today. Hang on, where's my thing? Spent majority of the game in the forward line. Now, enough of this, let's trade McGovern, let's delist McGovern, because that's not the reality. The reality is we're not going to trade him, we're not going to delist him. As much as we want that, it's not the reality. What can we do with him? Do we chuck him in the back line? Do we maybe chuck him in the guts? Whatever we can do to get him in the game. Maybe chuck him in the guts, one centre clearance or something, and then maybe chuck him back in the forward line. Because, for the last 3 games, he's had 1 touch at half time. That's not even VFL standard. That's fucking my junior footy standard. We just need to find ways to get our players in the game because 1 touch at half time is not good.
I'll ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need to find a way to get our players into the game? Why can't our players find a way to get themselves into the game? When the fourth quarter came around, I saw McGovern lift. I'll give him credit. Yeah. I saw him lift and find a way. Entries weren't great, understand, all of that. But he found a way. Good players find a way to get themselves in. So what do you mean? I'm not. This isn't at you. This because you're not the first person to say it. Putting him in the midfield. So what? We're just, every time he doesn't play well, we just got to try and find a way for him. He's a man. He's a good player. He's a man. When is it going to be on him?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. No, 100% agree with you there.
Yeah.
It's tough, you know. Yeah. Not good enough, really. Not good enough. So
it's not. And you know, yes, we've improved. I'm stoked that we finally have a season that we can say. I know that right now we're not proud, but I think overall we've been more proud than not. We've shown ticker. We've now elevated ourselves into this situation where we're now close to winning and falling over the line. So the hope is that next year that translates into another level of improvement, better game management in clutch situations, and for fuck's sake, when we show up, we come with the pride.
But this season, you think back to probs every game before the North Melbourne game. You know, we played pretty well throughout the whole game. Since the North Melbourne game, Hawthorn game, all those games leading up to the Adelaide game, when have we actually played like pretty well? I mean, I thought we played pretty well against West Coast. We didn't win. I thought we played against Gold Coast, got the win. But like, we haven't been that good ever since the North Melbourne or the Port Adelaide game. North Melbourne, we were scrappy. Hawthorn sent us to the cleaners. Has it really been an improvement year?
Yeah, my answer is yes. When you look at it as a whole, but it's tough when you see that game today. It was a disappointing one, very disappointing.
This was a tough loss. This would have been one of our worst losses in a long time.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate your thoughts.
Take care.
See you, brother.
Okay.
Hey, mate. I need you to take your. You're on mute, so I need you to take yourself off mute. Okay, we'll get that fixed and we'll get you back on. Maddie,
Hey.
what's happening?
Disappointing game.
Mm.
I was talking to my dad before. One of the guys mentioned he was saying that his dad was showing him a game and stuff. And 95, I think it was, we won every game except 2.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in perspective. I'm 20 now, and my entire lifetime, it's been like this.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah.
It's those seasons that we get told about. They're things of fantasy now, aren't they? Imagine a season like that where we lose 2 games. I don't even know what that feels or looks like, or I don't even know if I've ever dreamt of that.
No. It's I don't. I think 2011 or 13 was our last finals.
Yeah.
Kind of by almost default, almost like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2011 was a good year because we earned it on our merits and we had a good year. 2013 was, yeah, you're right. As you said, we were sort of got lucky because it was an Essendon. They fell over and we just took the spot.
Yeah.
You know, I think next year, as much as we're hurting now, and I hate saying this, but I think next year, like, there's just going to be a lot more pressure on them. And they've shown this year that when the pressure's on them, they haven't really dealt with it as much as what we would have liked. So next year, the pressure's going to be on, not just from the media, but it's going to be from the fans, because now we're into year 6, you know? So I wonder how they're going to, you know, handle that. What do you think we're missing?
I know people say we need like a midfielder for Cripps. I'm not sure we need it for him. I think it's just we need it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was like we need it for him, but also, I don't know, he needs to kind of, I don't know if it's get tougher, but he needs to play a little better in that side as well as having that midfielder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Totally agree. I think when people say we need to give Cripps help, well, Setterfield stepped up this year. Walsh gets in there. Ed Curno's had a pretty good year. He gets in there. I think you're right. I think we need to add midfield for the team, not for Cripps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when people talk about bets, I heard the commentators saying that keep him in the side next year, but just give him 7-8 games, which I agree with because he's doing well with the younger guys. You can tell that he's working with them. I think it's a matter of giving him that final season and that send-off he deserves and just having him there for the younger guys.
Yep, fair enough. And then maybe he can be a coach, an assistant coach, and then he can slide into that role maybe.
I agree with that. Just wanted to say one final thing. My great-grandmother is an avid Blues supporter, always has been. Everything in the house is Carlton, the clocks, the bins, everything. I just wanted to mention that she's 98 and in hospital right now, so just sort of a shout out and give that to her.
Well, I'm sending her, along with everyone watching, I'm sending her my love, and I hope she's okay. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Good on you, Maddie. See ya. What a legend. No.
Hey, Terry.
Jake, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I didn't see the first quarter because I was doing work, and I checked my phone. I see we're down 5 goals, so I can't really say much about that. But when I started watching, I just see it's the same thing, man. I'm 13. I've grown up with this since I remember the 2013 finals, but after that, just been losing mentality and just don't know. Today, we just couldn't use the ball. Their pressure just got on top of us. When we we just bomb it inside 50, man. Where's the lead? Sorry if I'm getting a bit pissed, but it just gets. It has to get better, man.
It does. It does. We can speculate as fans what we think is going to work, but I'm sure the club are aware of it. I'm sure they know how much it's important to get this right. I think there's going to be, like I said before, there's going to be so much more pressure next year.
Yeah.
Because now we're in year 6, and now it's hey, finals is an absolute must. So. Yeah, what do you think we need to bring into the club? Do you think it's a player? Do you think it's a coach? Do you think it's both?
Well, personally, I reckon our midfield's fine. People, I love Cripps, but he does, you can't rely the midfield on him. There's Ed Kerno, there's Murph, there's Walsh, there's Setters. Those blokes are pretty good. Well, Murph's been a bit down. But, I reckon what we need is, because I don't know if Charlie's going to work well with this mix next year, because we got Levi, Charlie, McGovern. Who else up forward? We've got a lot of tools, so I don't know. I reckon we go out and get Papley. That's a must. I don't know what we're going to have to give up for that.
Yep.
If we can try and get I think Brad Crouch is on the market. He'd be all right in the midfield, I reckon.
Yep.
I reckon Zach Williams is a must as well. So I reckon Papley and Williams we have to get and try and get some big-bodied midfielder. Because I don't know. I don't think Charlie – I know Charlie's good, but I'm not sure if he's going to work with this mix. He's been out – because you could see with Lynch and Rewalt last year, it takes time with Richmond. They're 2 superstars, and it takes time to actually work together. So I just don't know, man.
Yeah. Let's see how we go, hey? Thanks for jumping on, man.
Oh, good. Cheers, man.
See you, mate. Take it easy. I'm going to try Adam again. Yes!
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 My God. All right.
We got you, mate.
I've got pages of notes galore. Now, I'm not going to swear and be emotional like my brother because he's the passionate one. First-time listener, first-time caller. So, Terry,
are you Mark's brother?
Yes. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Now, I'm just going to hit you with the facts, and then we'll elaborate, right? Our record this year flatters us. We've been poor. 4-quarter performances, non-existent. A 4-quarter performance, maybe only Bulldogs. Even Geelong, last quarter, totally gave it up. This game's 4 quarters. It's not a 2.5-quarter game or a 30-minute game. Carlton plays 10-minute stretches where they're as good as Richmond. It's 4-quarter efforts, not there. That's first thing. Then, and I agree with so many of the callers. It doesn't mean enough to the players. It doesn't mean enough. I think it was Pommy maybe or Rocco, the one about Casbolt, because he's a Carlton man. I'd rather, the talent's there. These guys all play AFL. The talent is there. But it doesn't mean enough to the jumper, like some people have said. It doesn't mean enough. You need to get blokes who are invested in the club, and it should mean a lot. Like this, I totally agree. This thing for Gibbs and all this send-off is crap. It's rubbish. You're professional footballers. You're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would be bleeding at any loss. Any loss, I'd be head in my hands, bloody annoyed and frustrated that we've lost or I didn't play as well. And it's a bunch of bandwagoners and sheep. It's left to too few every week. And it's the same every week. And like guys have said, we got Walshy stepping up, a 20-year-old who's showing leadership. There's not enough leadership. Cripps this year, he looks hurt. He looks injured. He doesn't look right. His last month has just been poor, and he's a gun. But we got to learn to manage blokes better. Like people have said, 4 games in 14 days. If a bloke's not fit, I don't care how good he is. Get someone who's fit to play. Get your fittest 22 on the park. We're not good enough. We're not Richmond. We can't flick the switch. We can't flick the switch and say, yep, it's going to happen now. We're down by 30 points. We got lucky against Sydney, lucky against Freo, right? We just, the want and desire is not there. Not there. And that's brought upon by culture. My brother touched on earlier how when my dad went to the footy in the 70s and 80s, it was by how far every week. They had mongrel. We didn't have no mongrel. Why we got rid of Mitch Robertson, I'll never understand. I don't care about his skill level. He had intangibles and mongrel that he brought to the team. We just pissed that off. Even Zach Tui was a hard player, hard nut. Just got rid of him. Didn't try hard enough to keep him. There are hard players. The hardness is out of the side. And Cripps is tough, but he's not an enforcer. We need him to go get the ball. We don't have the hard bodies there to protect Cripps, protect our Walsh, protect our Curnow. We just have players. It doesn't mean enough. They don't want it. And then we're just, and that's a mental thing. And these 4 or 5 goal runs every game is all mental. What are the players on the field doing after even after 2 or 3 goals? What are they doing after 2 or 3 quick goals? What is the coaching doing after 2 or 3 quick? You don't wait for the quarter time, halftime break. The great teams make the adjustments in the quarter, in the breaks, and that's where they fix it up. Oh yeah, it is like Adelaide kicked 5 goals on us. That's woeful. Adelaide in some parts of a season haven't kicked 5 goals for the friggin' game, and they've kicked 5 goals in like a 10-minute span. It's just, it's embarrassing how much it actually doesn't mean to them, because we win based on potential. Oh, we played well and we have the potential, but we don't grind out the gritty wins when we're playing bad. If we're not on, we just look terrible, and there's just no heart. At the end of the day, it's not hard. There's no heart. And this another point I had to say here, Terry. We have 3 6'5" forwards. I said this in the comments before. People are bagging about the inside 50s and the lack of delivery, whatnot. Footy is a simple game. We've got 3 guys who will never get outmarked. They might not mark everything, but they won't get outmarked. If we're 70, 60 out and we don't know what to do, just put it 15 metres out directly in front. Don't go shallow to the pockets and get a throw in. Don't kick to a small. Just kick, even if it's to a pack. And they say, oh, don't bomb it in. But the way teams play these days, Terry, every team just folds back and puts 18 defenders into the defensive 50. You can't find a target. There's no target to find when there's 35 blokes inside 50. So put it 15 metres out. Let them try and have a crack for a mark. If they don't have a crack, we've got a ball up. Or maybe, who knows, they might even get a free kick if the umpires ever give us a fair go. But put 15 metres out, directly in front, nothing wide, stick to simple plans, and then guys like Mackay and even McGovern, even though he's starving, he will be better if you put it 15 metres out and give him a chance to have a crack at marking the ball. Because you know what? We look totally shocking going forward. And the delivery is poor. But keep it simple. It's AFL. It's not science. It's a sport. Sport is not complicated. That's why so many people can play it. And that's why so many people enjoy it, because it's simple. And we play it so dumb sometimes. It's dumb football. Dumb. Richmond have hacks, Terry. They have 6 or 7 guys who aren't really skilled, but they follow Dimmer's game plan. They follow the game plan, they play scrappy, and they play with heart. And that's why they get the job done. Talent-wise, Richmond's got a few players at the end of their list. The talent's not really there. Yeah, they've got the Cochrans, Martins, and the talent. But a lot of the gun teams, they got guys who just get the job done and do what they need to do, and they got heart for the jumper, and we're just lacking that in spades with too many players. Too many players lacking the heart. And I did that without swearing. I didn't swear. My brother sweared all day long. Not good.
You did very well. You did very, very well, mate. Thanks so much for joining.
Terry, pleasure.
Thanks, mate. That was fantastic. Well,
Hey, Tez, how you going?
Tozza, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a
First
little
time
bit
I've been
better.
here, so enjoying what you're doing on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. So just good to be on.
Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for your support.
So first of all, obviously, the game wasn't great as usual. Look, I got tons of dot points to talk about, but Bombardier inside 50s, it's just it's been repeated so many times throughout. So I just thought I'd say it again, but it's just I don't really know what to say. It's just I haven't really had the feeling of what actually like winning is, because I hear my dad talking about 1995, well, that was like the good years and stuff. I've never really actually found that. I've never really, had that. So living now, it's just like, we're kind of just used to losing. Like we have no purpose. It's just there's no culture or integrity going on. It's just I don't know. It's just what I feel. But
I wish, and I love the fact that people like yourself and the others who are in the same situation have come on and said that. I wish and I hope that sort of message gets through to the club. That now we've got young fans who just like questioning, like, what am I doing here? Like, what's going on? And we're hanging on and we're hanging on. We're hanging on, but I think you've just summed it up very well, man. I think that was very well said.
It's been like a 5-year rebuild. Like you look at Brisbane, you look at other teams, they've had like 2-3 years to get this going, and now they're flying near the top of the ladder. It's just, I know when we're going to hit our straps, honestly. It's just, time will tell, but I'm not really sure. And Mitch McGovern, like we pay him $800K a year. It's just, he needs to find his straps next year, or like I've been saying he needs to get out, but I'm willing to give him a chance. It's just finding time, but I got to own now, not own the future. Like the future is now, like the present. It's pretty simple. Yeah.
Very well said, mate. Thanks so much for joining. Make sure you
No
come
worries.
on next
Thanks
week.
for having me on.
We've got one
Appreciate
more.
it.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
See you, mate. Very well said. Very well said.
Hey, mate.
Hello again, Bryce Riches.
Mate, I said in your chat before I couldn't come on because I was just too worked up, but I think I've calmed down a little bit now. So, I just don't even know what to say, Like, again, I said I didn't expect to make finals, but I just expected to see us finish off that year, show some improvement. And that sort of just, back downhill. Now I'm looking at the Brisbane game thinking, I can't see us winning that, but I expect to see a 4-quarter performance to finish off strong. I've seen in the chat, people already talking about, retirements, trades and all that. I think Simo has to go around again. He's been so consistent for us all year and still giving 100%, whereas there's blokes in our team that simply aren't doing that. So I don't know how blokes that are younger can be given a spot over someone that's prepared to be doing that week in, week out. That's sort of beyond me, to be honest. But I don't know what your thoughts are on Simo, but, it's pretty disappointing with probably nearly the rest of the side. Sam Walsh seems to be just the star for us. And, again, Kane Corns doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's just so disappointing to see it break down in the midfield. And I've been screaming probably the last, Kennedy been out 4 weeks now? Where is Kennedy? Yeah. He's not on the injury list from what I could see. So where is he? Today he would have been that bloke in the midfield to stop those Crouch brothers. And we bring in, blokes like O'Brien. I don't understand the team selection group, I guess. I just don't understand their thoughts. And I mean, Doherty, we all heard he had a lingering injury. I know he's a, captain, but do you take a risk on a bloke that's had 2 ACLs for 1, and 2, you get a quarter out and he becomes a useless player effectively. So I just don't understand Carlton's thinking and Teague's thinking at the moment, to be honest with you. So whether they're trying to bleed in these blokes like O'Brien to get maybe some value out of them for trade bait, I'm not sure. But I certainly would rather see us try and, progress for the rest of the year, like today and, next week, and at least look positive. But it's so depressing for us supporters, especially my age, that hasn't really seen that success. I just don't know. The last quarter and the end of the third, you see us play that football where we looked like we wanted the ball. Like you talked about Mitch McGovern, looked like he made a bit of his own footy in the end. Harry Mackay, you can see he wants that football every time. But we don't have 22 players willing to do that. Again, Eddie Betts, the older player, he's probably not doing what we wanted from him goal scoring wise. But look at him in the 50 when he's putting pressure on their defence and the ball. That's something I think all our players aren't doing. He's definitely putting a lot of pressure on in that forward line. So that's good to see. Whether he gets another year, I'm not sure. But I feel too, we keep talking about we need midfielders to support Cripper. Do we have too many midfielders not playing in the right position, and maybe we need more key players? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but it seems to me we can roll a lot of blokes through the midfield as supporters. We keep saying, put him in the midfield, put SBS in, put Cunningham in. But are they playing out of position, maybe?
Yeah. No, they're good points, mate. They're points that I will definitely think about over the next few days. We've got the show tomorrow, so maybe that's one to talk about on the show tomorrow. But yeah, thanks so much for bringing that up.
No, all good. Thanks, Des.
See you, mate. Appreciate it. Huss L just became a new member. Thank you very much, Huss. He's a member of the YouTube channel. I didn't expect to gain a member after a loss, but anything's possible. Josh, what's up, brother?
Just I guess I got that's basically it, man.
That's it, mate. Enough said, brother.
Yeah, that's basically it. No, but I don't know, something about carrying Gibbs off. I know you didn't see it, but I went out for a walk after half time, and I was just like, maybe we'll do something. In the third quarter, I was like, is this going to be another Sydney game? And then the fourth quarter, where we just, Mackay, as previous guy said, he wants the ball, but then the people, kicking him the ball sometimes, it's just our midfield delivery just doesn't make sense to me sometimes. And then carrying Gibbs off afterwards, I was just like, I don't know, doesn't seem to have that passion, that hunger. I know they're all friends, but where's that? No one looked disappointed in that loss.
Like you said, I haven't seen it. Someone just sent me the photo, so I've now seen the photo. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of the more polarizing issues of the week, because I think there are going to be people who feel strongly against it, and there are going to be those who feel strongly for it. I'm in the camp that feels strongly against it. I said before, had we won the game, all good. I'll cop it. But the fact that we dish up what we dished up and looked more interested in making sure Gibbsy got a good send-off and looking after Gibbsy, who, let's be dead honest, left the club a few years ago to go and chase a premiership, as he's entitled to do. Players have rights. And that's all good. He was professional in his 2017 year. He played well for us after he requested for a trade. I thought that was a very good effort for him to do that. But doesn't it end there? Doesn't the love that does it not end there? It was coming out from the club all week. Gibbsy this, mates this, one of our own this, and now that we've seen the result, I mean, is this what we stand for? Are we a lovely social club? Is that what we are now? Is that what this is about? Making sure that we love each other. Okay,
and I was thinking, sure, you want to give Gibbs a send-off. What about poor Matty Cruiser watching that game? There was a point where they shot to him and he didn't look happy at all. Remember, he's retired too. And, obviously he can't get his send-off that he'd like, but, that's why we got to put the effort for him. And it's almost like we only cared about Gibbs because he was on the ground. And then poor Matty Cruiser just had to watch us almost forget about his retirement at some points. And it was, I felt for him as well, more than anybody else.
Yeah, no, it's a shame that they didn't play with Matthew Cruz's spirit today. They probably played with Bryce Gibbs' spirit.
Yeah.
Anyway, mate.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens against Brisbane, I guess, but not confident.
Yeah. No. Thanks so much for coming on, man. Legend. Vince.
Terry, thanks for having me, mate.
How are you, mate?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, mate. I'm just I didn't watch the last 5 minutes, so like you, I only just heard about the Gibbs cheering off, and I'm I guess that sums up what the club's about, isn't it? Really, we're just too friendly. Like, really, who gives a shit? He left the club. We know.
He left the fucking club, mate. He left. He went to chase a premiership.
He did. I mean, why do we need to be nice about that? I mean, we wouldn't do the same for, Hendo, or we wouldn't do the same for Jared Waite. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm just. The season was on the line. We've had that 3 times now. We lost in just. It was just pathetic circumstances today. Like that first. I'll say the first half. The ball coming out of our forward half, there was no tackling pressure. It reminded me exactly of the Collingwood game. Just the run through the midfield, there was just nobody. There was no tackling pressure. There was no guys running the other way. It was just so frustrating to watch. And with 5 minutes left, I near on broke the TV remote, just smashed it on the TV and said, I need to go for a walk. I just couldn't do it. I'm 40, so I was there in 95. I've seen the success. So I've waited and we've done the right thing. But I mean, serious questions need to be asked about players like, and I know he's only played 1 game this year in O'Brien, but is Cunningham good enough? Like, we need this guy to do more. We need it. He's not good enough. Walsh has well and truly overtaken him, and this is his 2nd year. Cunningham's been there for long enough. When are we going to see this guy do what he did against Essendon this year, week in, week out? We're crying for that. So we don't need a Papley. We need midfielders, and we just need to get the best that we can get. I just don't know what else to say. I'm just everyone else before you I've just been watching has just said everything that I was going to say. And if I'd spoken to you 30 minutes ago, I would have blown up because I'm not happy. I actually try to call Paul Barbazza because I normally give him a call and just let loose with him, but I don't know what to say. I'm just so bitterly disappointed. It almost makes the rest of the year just seem like just a waste. We've won 7 games now, and I don't think we'll win next week. So we're 5 or 6 games less than what we played last year, but we've done no better than last year at all.
Yeah.
So we have improved. I'll say that we have improved, but not as much as what I thought. I'm really disappointed, just so disappointed.
Yeah. No, a lot of us are, mate, but I appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it, mate.
See you, mate.
G'day, Tez.
Ollie, what's happening, mate?
Nothing much. Oh, fuck. I don't want to waste your time too much, but I thought I'd start off by saying, this is what I bought last year, the Saints game. Mitch McGovern kicked 3 goals. I've been contemplating chucking this in the bin every single week this year. Like, he's a fucking stingy bastard, mate. He's doing my head in. I was happy that he kicked a goal, and, mate, I don't know. I started following Carlton in 2013. Before that, I wasn't really into footy. I feel like I came in at the wrong time. Yeah. And that's about it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I know. Maybe I'm some bad luck totem or something.
Nah, you're not, mate. It's not you at all. This club might be a mighty football club. I love it dearly. It's a part of my life. It's a part of all of our lives. And, with Mitch, I
still love him. I love him. I love him. He's such a nice guy.
These players cop a lot of criticism, and sometimes people get personal, and we need to be careful with that. My thing is, apart from the personal attacks, the reputation a player has with a fan is earned. It's not given. When Mitch first came to the club, we were all around him. When Paulson first came to the club, all around him, every single player starts on level pegging, and over time you earn the love and respect from the fan base. And unfortunately for Mitch, we just haven't seen him put, a month of just super football together yet. And the frustrating part is he's got all the traits. He's he's a smart forward, makes things happen for others, plays his role, strong hands, nice set shot, probably one of our best set shots, if we're honest. And the problem is we just don't see it enough.
Yeah. When he's on, he's on. He's very hard to get on. And
there's a few like him. Cunningham's the same. We don't see it enough,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
another thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, another thing. Teague, when he's always like, I didn't watch the conference today, the media conference, but when he's always like, "Oh, we've got to play our way," fuck off. Like, what happens when they want to play their way? It's like, this is what you said a couple of weeks ago. It's like you can't always play your way. You have to tailor to other game styles and other game plans. When other teams want to play their way, you have to be able to adapt to that. Man, he needs to show some more, some more initiative and. I like him, but he needs to step up and definitely get the boys more fired up next week.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Thanks so much for joining.
No worries. Cheers, Tez. See ya.
See you, legend. Take care. Vidrio Revolver with a $6 donation. Thank you so very much, mate. Hello, Charlie.
What's up, Tez?
Mate, I'm all right. I like seeing that name because that's kind of the guy that we need, I think.
Yeah. Look, I don't have much to say really, but I'm 15. I've been following Carlton my whole life really. My biggest game that I remember is that one game against Richmond in the quarterfinals, something like that. I was young. Well, I wasn't too young, but I barely remember that. And like for fans my age, we've grew up with just losing and just losing. And like, it's just, I don't know when it's gonna turn around. I don't know, but
mate, it actually breaks my heart hearing you say that the way you say it. And it's thank you for being so honest, and thank you for showing your emotion. But it hurts me to see not just you, but like all the fans that are your age talk about the club like that. It's fucking it hurts, mate. It hurts because we want to get around him. We love this football club. We love being a part of it. We're this big family. I don't know what to say to you, mate.
Yeah, because like my uncle was a 2 times premiership winner in the 90s. Like, and right now I live in America. It's fucking 3:30 a.m. right now. I stay up till 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 4 a.m. to watch these games, and it's just like, what's the point? I mean, watching us get flogged by a team a couple weeks ago who hasn't won any games all season. Like, it's just.
Where in the US are you living?
Florida.
Nice.
So,
nice. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be connected with you right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mate, chin up. We've got a big game next week. We've got a big off season, and we've got a big 2021 ahead of us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, hopefully it'll be different from the past couple of years. And like I think it was 2017. I've been watching the Blues since I can remember. I've been going to the G, and it's just like 2017. I just completely took a year to stop watching football. Like I just had no passion. I just didn't. I know it's good you have to stick through your club thick and thin, but it's just like in 2017, I just couldn't. I just had to step away from football for a year, get my love for the game back. Just, yeah.
Well, mate, go get a good night's sleep, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks, legend.
Thanks.
Terry. Webby,
my friend.
How are you, bro?
I don't know. I don't know anymore, Webby, mate. I don't fucking know.
I tell you, I had to wait an hour before I came on, or else I might have just exploded, mate.
I'm
When
sorry for the wait.
no, it's all right. Isn't your fault. When is this club going to learn, my friend? We just give teams 5-6 goal starts, and there's no leadership. Jeez, I don't know, bud. I don't know.
Is it are we getting too worked up, or do you think it's going to be okay?
Look, I hope it's going to be okay, but we have a lot to work on. Let's just be really it is. There is a lot to work on. This group is mentally weak, and that has to be addressed. The assistant coaches we have are not good enough. John Barker has been there for a decade. Brett Stanton, I don't think, is up to it. There's a couple other guys there who aren't up to it. We need to get winners around this losing football club. We accept mediocrity at this football club. 7 years now, bud. We haven't played finals. This isn't good enough for a club that has 16 premiership cups in the cabinet. And I tell you, I saw this loss coming when I turned on the TV and I saw Eddie Betts and Kate Simpson playing lovey-dovey with Bryce Gibbs. Like, do that after the game. You got a game to win. Like, mate, seriously, it's all in the head. They are good enough. This list is good enough on paper. You have a look. Look at our spine. Wiedering, Jones, Charlie Kerner when he comes back, Harry Mackay, SBS, Sam Walsh in the middle, Patrick Cripps, Will Setterfield's coming on. Dave Cunningham is, oh, jeez, he frustrates me, Cunningham. I love Cunningham, mate. I make no bones about that. He has so much talent, and he's so quick, right? But he frustrates me. He goes missing. Why does he go missing? Is that T or is that Cunningham himself?
He seemed to get right into the game, into the thick of it in the fourth quarter when, dare I say it, the pressure was a little lifted and it was kind of like, well, the game's done. And then all of a sudden, Dave Cunningham everywhere.
Yeah. And he played around the ball, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's your answer. SBS, I thought again he was pretty good. He wasn't as good as last week, but again I think he's finished with 16 disposals or something in a shortened game playing half back. You know, mate, like there's so much talent here. We should expect more from this group now. 5 years in, bud. 5 years in.
Your points are well taken, mate. Thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
I'll see you on
Good
Twitter,
on you, mate. See you, mate. See you on Twitter. Good point.
Terry.
Harry McCarthy. How are you, mate?
How's it going, Terry? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I just got back from the game. It's pretty
Oh wow.
Yeah, just got back. Yeah, just drove back from Brizzy. Pretty disappointing game. Yeah, I've seen every Queensland game this year, and that was probably the worst, I'd say. So,
Can you give me some insight about the work rate off the ball? Because
yeah,
on
that's
the screen,
I feel like you can see a lot more. I feel like they're just in this game, particularly Crows were just running back. It's just like Like we've got, I think Walsh, especially last week, he's just running it around like he's our only one working hard. I think Doherty, sometimes people don't see what he's doing enough. I don't know. Did he get injured today? Did he?
Yeah, he got injured in the first
Okay,
quarter with the
that makes
calf.
sense.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but today, just like we're playing for fun. It's like, what can you be thinking? Like we're going in the worst side. Like I know they've won their last 2 games. Like they've won last 2 games, but we're playing the worst side. What can you be thinking? Like it's not just going to come to you. It's just like, and it's really just disappointing to see. Like I remember the Collingwood game as well. I was really disappointed about that as well. We just can't get up for the big games, and it's really starting to become a trend. Like I believe in this group, and I think there's a lot to work with, but it's a big off season. But yeah, with the work rate, it's just not good enough. Like you're an AFL footballer, you should be like Levi Casbolt today. He's just got to take those marks. Like we're just doing all the basics. It's really disappointing. But yeah, and can I just say on Mitch McGovern, just quickly, I don't want to, and I love Mitch McGovern. I love him a lot, but it was actually funny. I think in the last quarter, it was a free kick in the middle of the ground. Cripps got the free kick, and the ball went down. Then McGovern kicked it back, and I think about 10 supporters go, McGovern's got his first kick, and everyone was getting up and about. But for 7, I've been defending this bloke for far too long. But but that's the thing. I know the talent he's got. He's got like great set shot. That's good. Get it in his hands. Then why is he running? Why is he? I don't know what he's doing. Like where do you go missing? Like, and I think someone said it before. Why should the coach and like the players have to find a way to get him into the game? Like, figure it out yourself.
He's an experienced player. He's paid well. He's a big investment. He's a marquee signing. It's got to be on him. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
good on you, mate. It's very well
Derek.
said. Thanks so much, mate. See ya. You too, man. Thanks.
Hello, Terry.
Helena, is this Helena Petru?
Yes.
Oh my God, lovely to meet you.
Nice to finally get on. First time call up. So massive just thanks for all the stuff you do, like spend hours of the week, rehab, therapy. I love it. So thanks for that.
No, you're very welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you. So pretty much probably everything under the sun's been spoken about these past couple hours. So something I just wanted to speak on was the body language. Something it does my head in sometimes. Like you see after the game, I get it that they're mates with like a lot of our players have come from Adelaide and vice versa, but you look and think, when I play my mates in local footy, like local sport, whatever, you want to be the better player. So you go harder. It's like they're almost just going for fun now, like I don't know how to say it, but it's like they're just sitting back, letting Gibbs do his
Waiting.
thing. Yeah. I just I've said it a couple times. If I want them to go in for it, if they don't get it, I know they tried. I know they put their head over the ball. Like I don't want them to sit back and wait. So also, Weeders today, I thought he was amazing. My dad goes from Collingwood. I'm sitting watching the game with him. Like, how was Weeders? He's like, yeah, I want him. Like, also like a couple of the other kids have been on 15. Don't know what winning is. 15 years old. So I get that up and about after wins. I'm sitting here like, I'm just thinking how amazing it'd be to finally get there one day. But yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed.
Yeah, it's hard, mate. It's hard. It's hard to watch. It's so glaringly obvious, and the big frustration. We say it so much. They're so talented, these boys.
You look at it, and we know what they're capable of because they show it to us, and then you absolutely pinch yourself because you're like, imagine they brought this every week. Like Connors in that Essendon game, unreal. Setters, he's had some really great moments. He was good today as well. You look at these boys and you think, imagine if they're all on at the same time. And the thing that also gets to me is if we can get in a position, there were times in that fourth quarter I'm like, we might be able to come back here. if we can put ourselves in that position, only playing a half of football, I just think to myself, it's the same story every week. Imagine we played 4 quarters, where we'd be at.
It's true. Well, I can't wait for us to be playing finals football. I'm really looking forward to it. When it's going to come, I don't know. But Helena, thanks so much for joining. It's great to finally speak to you.
Thanks, and can't wait either. So it should be a good week when it finally comes.
Finally. Thanks so much, Legend. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
What was that? Like,
I don't fucking know, mate. I don't know what that was.
I don't know. My first weekend off work, and I had to go through that game. Like, I wish I could have just worked.
Yeah.
But that was just frustrating. That first quarter, frustrating to watch. We made Adelaide look like a top 8 side, top 4 side even. Like, it's a game that we were expected to win. Like, yeah, have no words pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, man. It's a bit speechless for all of us. I think everything's been said, but yeah. What do we do? What's the first? What's priority number 1?
Oh, good question. I don't even know. Probably fix the coaching panel to start with that. Get more experience. Like, if Sam Mitchell, if Luke Hodge is up in the air, take him, bring him in. He has experience. 3 people for Hawthorn, bring him in.
Yeah.
And then just trades. We need a big off season for us, as a lot of our viewers and fans have said. Big trade period for us this year.
Yeah. Love it, mate. Thanks so much.
All good.
Have a good one, Legend.
Hey, Tez.
That's everyone. Fuck.
Look, we've got a few in there. I've told them we can't fit any more. There's a few just hanging in there, hoping maybe. But I've said, look, next week.
Yeah, we'll cap it. We've almost done more fan cams for as long as what that game went for.
I know, it's insane, mate. What a show. We had a few fiery guests and lots of passion there, and yeah, well done, man. Another long show, 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Wow, I think that's a record.
Nuts. I know. Be good if we got as many people watching when we win.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, yeah, I think we've done these fan cams now. I think we're 2 and 2 since we started doing them again. So let's see what happens next week. What did you think? You're the last one. What did you think?
I just want to say just a couple of quick things. There's been a ton of focus on McGovern today, and I think it was Alex that came in and tried to kind of defend him a little. Was that Alex? Anyway, someone came in and tried to defend him a bit, and you said, "No, look, good players should be able to find the ball themselves." Remember that? Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of disagree a bit. I've said for a few weeks, like we've got the wrong mix up forward. It's too crowded. Harry's the focus. If anyone can show us or show me where in the game today that the ball was kicked to McGovern and he screwed up, Harry's a focus. McGovern's staying up forward for some reason. He should be pushing up the ground more. And I like what that guy said. I forget his name, but he came in. He said that we need to get McGovern near the ball more often. I reckon he needs to be pushing up the ground, even up to the wing. When he had the ball today, he did something with it. He didn't screw up. I didn't see him screw up once. But
who, McGovern?
McGovern.
Do you remember the first kick in the first quarter where he kicked it into the Adelaide player? Or in the fourth quarter where he took the strong mark, turned around, turned the ball over, he overcooked it? I remember.
Didn't see those.
I think you're right.
Well, there's 2 stuff ups, and I can show you 5 stuff ups from Plowman in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So and Plowman dodged a bullet. He didn't get mentioned. In the first quarter, go back and watch it. And watch the first 5 times Plowman was near the ball. All right. And he screwed up. He had brain farts. Now, he has great games. He has had some freaking standout games. He's carried us for a few games this year. But he's also inconsistent. And what we need, I think, going forward is consistency. and players that can either be really hot or really cold. I don't know. I just asked the question: Can we take them into the future with us?
Yeah.
Because the games we need to win, like today, if they have a cold day, I think Plowman might have cost us 2 or 3 goals in the first quarter.
Yeah.
If you have a look at it, but look, I don't want to
Yeah,
hate
I
on
had
the
him
guy.
written down.
I love the guy, but yeah, look, McGovern. I think they need to work out. I mean, it feels like it's crowded now, but imagine next year with Charlie back, Charlie, Harry, McGovern trying to share the forward line is going to be insane for them to manage.
Yeah.
So anywho, but I want to ask you, we haven't really drawn any positives out of today. And you're usually the guy that kind of, finds a few. So where's the positives?
I'll find him. The positives are Sam Walsh. The positives are Will Setterfield. I thought Jonesy was solid. I thought De Koning was solid. End of. That's it. That's about as positive as I'll get.
I think you've missed a big one.
I have.
There was
Who
one
was it?
player that
Harry.
was-
Harry. Sorry, Harry. Yeah.
No,
Harry.
no, not even thinking him. There's one player that for the first even half, maybe pushing 3/4, was just a rock for us down back. Jones.
Yeah, I said
Jones
yes. I
killed it.
said Jonesy.
Did you say Jones?
Yeah, I said Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. He was awesome. Like,
Yeah,
anyway.
he was. He was. I think, unfortunately, with games like this, the positives are that we look for individual brilliance for positives. We fought back in the second half. Is that a positive, or is that just what's expected?
I don't get
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know how we can look so good at times, but just look like we're not even. We haven't even turned up to play for other times, and it's in patches. It's always been in these big patches of just giving away goals and then kicking a few in a row. It's like,
yeah,
I can't work it out.
No.
Anywho, that's my thing.
Love it, mate.
That's my spiel.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Right.
I'll wrap it up and we'll get going.
Good show, brother.
Thanks, brother. That's Shad, ladies and gentlemen. Shad from Assertive Media, who powers our live shows. We're usually in the studio. We can't wait to get back in there. But please go and show him some love on his Facebook page, Assertive Media. And that's it for fan cams. I think it's 2.5 hours. We've done fan cams longer than what that game was on. My final words are, very disappointing. A lot to play for. Very nice footballers. Unfortunately, it took until halftime for us to start playing with an aggression and a desperation at the contest. But we move on and we cop it because we're fans, and unfortunately, we're servants to the club. We are the lifeblood of the club. But unfortunately, there's not much we can do because we're not on the field. All we can do is support and hold the club to the standards that we accept, because that's really what it's all about. What are you willing to accept as a supporter, and what type of pressure are you willing to put on the club to do what you want them to do? So thanks to everybody that joined. Sorry again to those who didn't get on. It just gets so full. I don't really see who's coming on. It's all unknown to me. Shad manages all that. So appreciate Shad for his effort. Let's criticize the performances. Let's please be responsible and accountable for our words. Don't be too, don't go into their personal lives. That's the key message that I would like this channel to represent. But love you all. Thank you all. The winner of the Guernsey will be announced tomorrow on the live show. If you're still watching this, I'll give you another chance to enter. What you need to do is you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel right now if you're watching. And you need to go onto the Blue Abroad website, blueabroad.com.au. Scroll down to the bottom, subscribe to the newsletter. You just need your first name, your second name, and your email. You'll go into the draw. And then on the live tomorrow, I'm going to I'm going to pre-record the video, and one of you will win a 2020 Carlton Guernsey. But that's me. I need to go and eat some food, have a drink. Thank you all. Love you all. Peace out.